Hi, my name is Sharon Knight, and I am so pleased to welcome you to our Building Community Check-In today. Hope Communities started these check-ins when we started the pandemic because we knew that people were going to be feeling a little bit isolated, they wouldn't necessarily know where to get the information they needed, and that there were going to be resources available to them that we needed to get the word out about. So we started hosting the show 3 times a week, and we've been doing this now for about 17 weeks, always trying to let people know that they are not alone. And we've been giving you information about best practices and regulations pertaining to COVID, providing resources available to you, and we also post these on our website, of course, sharing inspirational stories to help lift your spirits, and also providing activities to enhance your health and your well-being. I am calling this particular episode a valuable community asset that helps residents to access knowledge. And I'm going to bring our guest in, Virginia Vassar Aggrey, to the conversation in just a few minutes after we do a couple of updates and a little bit of news. So we're posting these videos on our Facebook page after we are live. And so if there's any information that we share today, and we're talking about the library, so there's probably going to be great information to share, you might want to let people know about this resource. And if there's anything that you think of while you're listening to this show that you need, please email us at info@hopecommunities.org. We're there to help. We just need to know what you need us to do. So please reach out. So in news, I want to repeat that we do have some new money in the state through the Federal CARES Act to help residents get emergency rental assistance. This has been big ever since the pandemic started and people began losing their employment. And so we do have new monies available. There were over $19 million available for emergency rent and also emergency mortgage through the Housing Development Grant Fund and the Division of Housing. So this program can go to residents directly, or it can go through organizations. Hope has applied to receive rent funds on behalf of our tenants. And so if any of our residents or any people in the community need information about this, if you're having trouble paying because of COVID-19, let the property staff know. If you're a Hope resident, let our property staff know wherever you are. But at other places, please make sure that you just communicate that fact, and there could be some great resources for you. So the Aurora Public School District and the Denver Public School District now has announced that they will not have in-person classes until October. They both plan to start remotely on August 24th, though I did just hear today that there are a few Denver schools that are starting earlier. They might be more local schools, but in Denver, some of them are starting the week before. So communicate, of course, with schools to figure out where your kids are. And I know parents are really concerned about how to help their kids to stay abreast of all of their work this year. We actually found that some of our kids had never done anything the last couple months of school. They had never connected. And so we do have a nonprofit that we're working with to help people connect through technology. And in the next couple of weeks, I will have somebody from one of our local schools talking about ways that kids can get some help with academic issues during the next school year, and particularly the next few months. So just a reminder also that the FDA has identified some hand sanitizers that are not safe. So make sure that you're checking your products. There were some that were manufactured in Mexico that aren't safe, and the FDA has that information on their website. Locally in the States, there are Walmart and Targets have some of these products, so you need to check that out. We don't want you to be doing your best to stay safe and inadvertently have something happen to you as a result of these products. We just want you to be aware of that. We also usually offer you some quotes. Now I'm going to give you a couple of quotes about the library. I mean, I just love the library, and anybody who's been watching these shows knows that I read a lot, so so it's really important to me that we share this. So the first quote is that the library is a place that is a repository of information and gives every citizen equal access to it. That includes health information, mental health information. It's a community space. It's a safe place, a haven from the world. That quote is by Neil Gaiman. Another one by Jody Rao is, our libraries are valuable centers of education, learning, and enrichment for people of all ages. In recent years, libraries have taken on an increasingly important role, which we will hear some of that today. Today's libraries are about much more than books. So as I mentioned, today our guest is Virginia Vassar Aggrey from the Denver Public Library, and I'm going to ask her a few questions about the library and the particular program that she works with. We have been focusing the Denver Public Library with every Facebook Live show. We've been doing our book reviews and trying to find books that can be downloaded. So please check all of those out. I mean, it's a great opportunity for you to learn and actually travel in your mind as you read these books, going all across the world. So we've been talking and keeping people posted about when the libraries will open. Do you have any information, Virginia, about when we're going to move beyond curbside?
Unfortunately, right now, we don't really know exactly when we're going to open. There are a lot of concerns with the library. We're small spaces where people hang out for a long time. So we are also part of the city and county of Denver, and we have to follow the health department rules very carefully and follow city guidance. So
Sure.
Until we can have a plan, which we're working very hard to create plans to keep our staff and all of the people who come to the library safe while they're there. Until then, we're not quite sure. It could be a little bit longer. It could be another. I don't think we have a clear idea of exactly when we're going to open for full service. But we are offering curbside, like you said, where you can put books on hold and then go and pick them up. We are also offering a couple of services outside of the library. So we have several locations where you can use computers outside under a tent for 30 minutes at a time.
Nice.
We have that, I think, at 5 locations right now for certain days of the week. And so you can, find that schedule online or call your local branch to find out if they're doing technology help outside. And we're also offering some other giveaways that are not books. So we have some craft kits that kids can pick up with their families. We're still doing our Summer of Adventure reading program and allowing families to come and get a free book if they complete the activities. So we're trying our best to serve the community, even though we're not open yet for browsing and staying inside the library.
I've seen a couple of those kits. They're so cute.
Yes, they're pretty cool.
Really cute. So we keep talking about the fact that people can get curbside or they can download a book. How does somebody get a library card if they don't have one right now?
Yes, great question. So there are a couple of things you can do if you don't have a library card right now. There is an e-card that you can get at our website, which is denverlibrary.org. You can sign up for an e-card so you don't even have to go to a branch. The e-card gives you a few services. You can use some online services with it, and there are a few things that you can access. But if for certain things, like if you want to put books on hold, you're going to need a physical library card. And to get that right now, you will need to actually go to a branch library. Even though the libraries aren't open, they have people outside who can help you with getting a card.
Oh, okay.
And we are also signing people up for cards at outreach events like the Hidden Brook location. People can come there to get a library card, a physical library card from us. And then after 24 hours, we can activate it and you can put books on hold. You can use a lot of online services with your library card. So can I go into just a couple of those online services?
Yeah, tell us about that.
So with your library card, you can go online and put books on hold. You can use the ebooks and e-media as well without ever having to go.
So e-media is seeing movies.
Seeing movies. We have, there are audiobooks, there are regular ebooks, there are movies through our Canopy system, which is kind of like a you can stream a certain amount of movies per month with your library card. That's for Denver residents only, but it works great. I use it all the time.
Oh, great.
We also have Learning Express Library is a database that we have access to. Not everybody knows about this, but we have free GED practice tests in English and Spanish. We have if you're trying to study for any kind of test, they have practice tests for most of those. So a lot of like work keys and teaching exams and different kinds of tests for different vocations are all in there for free. We have Mango, which is a language learning software you get free access to with your card, and other resources, other databases that can help you meet your goals depending on what they are from the comfort of your home. So
well, and we actually have been talking a lot about the fact that this time is a great time not only to catch up on reading, but to refresh your goals, to see where you want to go, to learn languages, to learn new work skills. And
absolutely.
in one of our shows too, we talked about the fact that the job landscape is changing because there are some businesses, unfortunately, that are closing, and some may not be at full strength for a long time. And so it could be a great time to retool and to have those practice experiences and tests online would be an awesome resource.
And we have a new resource called Udemy, Udemy, which has all kinds of classes. That's even new. I almost forgot to say because we've only had it starting this year.
Wow.
And it's really good. There's tons of stuff on there. I have a long list of classes I'm going to be taking, and those are really great. And to get a library card to use those services, you only need a photo ID and proof of address. It doesn't need to be a Denver address. You can live anywhere in Colorado. As long as you have a valid Colorado address, you can get a Denver library card.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, and then for those individuals that may not have citizenship right now, or they might, have a different designation like a asylee or something like that, there's absolutely no problem. They just need an address.
No problem at all. Yeah, just any photo ID. I think it needs to be a government issued photo ID, but we accept like the sorry, forgetting the name of it, but the Mexican consulate ID. We accept different forms. We will never ask about immigration status, and actually in Denver, the city and county of Denver, employees are not allowed to ask you about immigration status at all. It was an executive order from the mayor a couple of years ago because we want to make sure that everyone, regardless of their status or their immigration status, feels comfortable using library services. And so, yeah, it's open for anybody to get a library card.
Yeah, I have always felt that, especially through my teaching years and everything, that the library was a great equalizer because anybody, no matter what their income, where they come from, what their age, can gain great experience through the library. So I love the work that you're doing.
Yeah.
So, you talked about curbside, and you kind of alluded to there's a few community events that you've been participating in. But can you explain some of those? Because I've, for instance, heard about some bookmobiles in places. Where else might people find the library?
Yeah, we have been trying to get out in the community as much as possible, and that was before COVID, before quarantine. We do a lot of outreach in the community as much as we can. Right now, I know that our outreach group is partnering with places that are doing food distribution. So our bookmobiles are out at different sites that are giving away food every single day. They're at multiple places.
Yeah.
A lot of DPS schools that are giving out food. We're also there giving out books. Yes, we're giving out books with the Hidden Brook Apartments food distribution as well, and several other locations, recreation centers. So we have a lot of locations throughout the week that we're distributing materials.
So the library, and particularly the Plaza Program, have been part of the tent talks on Wednesdays at Hidden Brook, but they've also have been and will again visit the gardens in Northeast Park Hill with the bookmobile. So people were thrilled to get that bookmobile there and to be able to pick up some books. They have them for adults, for kids, for teens, lots of different categories. So they were so happy. So I can't wait for that to happen again.
I'm glad that worked out well.
So I know that you work with a particular program, the Plaza Program, and we actually started a relationship with the Plaza Program before COVID, and then we weren't able to enact it entirely until we started doing these tent talks, which helps us do a little bit more in that direction. But can you explain, expressly what that program does?
Absolutely, yeah. So the Plaza Program, when libraries are open, we have weekly ongoing programs that are year-round at 10 library locations, plus the one we were planning at Hiddenbrook. We had 11 locations. So we would have programs once, twice, sometimes 3 or 4 times a week, where it was an open space where people could come and use resources. We would have staff there who were bilingual. Our staff speak over 13 languages and work in our programs to help people meet their goals. So we have a few services that we always offer, like English conversation tables, citizenship study practice. We have computers available, Chromebooks, and people can get assistance with working on a computer-related task. We do a lot of different things depending on what people's goals are. So we like to say, whatever you're working on, we can help, because we can help with a job search. We can help with working on your resume, and we also offer activities for kids at the same time, so that we don't have to have any age restrictions. People can come as a family to the library and use our services. It doesn't matter how young or old you are, there's something for you there. We even have people coming to an English class like with their baby with them, and we don't have any restrictions. You don't need to have a library card to participate in those programs, and you don't need to register. They're all free, drop in. We don't take any of your personal information. We try to make it as open as possible. And so now that the libraries are closed, we are offering most of those services still online. So we're doing online English conversation groups, online citizenship study groups, one-on-one appointments now, which we weren't doing before, but now we're trying to help people as much as we can. So we're doing those appointments online or by phone for a variety of topics, all of those services that we offered. And so there are a lot of ways to still access Plaza. All of our staff are still working and helping people virtually. And all the information about that is at denverlibrary.org/plaza if you wanted to sign up for an appointment or find out information on those classes. Sorry that I interrupted you.
Oh, no problem. I was just going to say, when you say that you are working with people and teaching online, is that through Zoom or is that through another application?
We actually use Google Meet because it's a little bit easier than Zoom to access. You don't have to download anything unless you're on your phone. Then there's an app, but on a computer you don't need to download a program. You don't have to sign in. You don't have to give any information. You can just click a link and join the class. So we usually use Google Meet.
Awesome. And maybe I'm not remembering this correctly, but I believe that you had a program to train volunteers to help with the Plaza program?
We do. We normally have a lot of volunteers that work in Plaza. Right now, we are paused in taking on volunteers.
Okay.
We're focusing a lot right now on making sure our staff know how to use the new technologies and are transitioning into all of these new programs, and we're kind of creating a base. And our volunteers are still there, still being supportive of us, but we're not currently using all of their services. But we're hoping to be able to incorporate volunteers back in as soon as we, have experimented with these things for a couple of months.
Because I was just thinking this might be a time to start, considering it.
Yes, and feel free to reach out to us if you are interested in volunteering, because, we'd love to just stay engaged with you, let you know what's happening, and you can always be an ambassador for our work, like you are, Sharon, in telling people about what we're doing and spreading the word.
Yeah. So you have staff that speak 17 languages. You have volunteers who probably speak different languages.
Yes.
When you're going to different sites, like when you come to the Hiddenbrook site, how do you decide who you bring, what languages you bring, and if somebody wanted to invite you to a site, how would they do that?
That's a great question. When we're trying to decide what languages to prioritize at a certain location, we look at data that the city collects on, and most of that comes from the DPS data on where languages are spoken around the city, but also anecdotal data from the place we're going to, and the staff that already work there is very helpful, and we would try to make decisions based on that. And also our staff availability. You know, sometimes we don't have the someone who speaks the language that would be most useful, but we just do our best to try and meet those needs, and we will recruit staff, you know, to work in a certain location if their skills are very valuable there, if they have a connection to the community there. We really value that when we're recruiting staff, which we're not currently doing, but hopefully soon we can start kind of doing that again.
Okay. Yeah, and we actually just added some more languages to our navigation pool. So we've got, if you remember them all, of course, English, Arabic, Burundi, Burmese, Dari, Spanish, Somali, Kinyarwanda, something like that.
Wow.
We've got, I think we have like 9 languages now.
Yeah.
So French, just helping people with lots of different languages to understand the nuances. Do you actually have books in different languages?
Yes, we do have books in different languages at the library that are currently available. It is a little, sometimes it can be hard to find them, especially if you're not used to navigating the library system. So right now is a great time to try and look if there's something you're interested in, because you could always talk to a library staff member about trying to find those. And we can help you put them on hold and pick them up at the library that's closest to you, because a lot of our materials in other languages they stay at the central library, so you have to put them on hold to get them to the location that's close to you. A lot of the branches also have magazines in other languages, like especially we have locations that have magazines in Vietnamese and Arabic. We have lots of materials in Spanish, magazines, books, DVDs, but we also have DVDs, audiobooks in other languages. So, but it can help to get a library staff member to help you navigate that. So
yeah. Once you figure out where it is, then it's easier.
Then it's easier to put it on hold, and once you've done that one time, you can probably do it by yourself, but it's easy to get some help when you're starting.
Yeah, awesome. So I'm going to transition a little bit, because
Sure.
I know parents, as I mentioned in my news portion, are super nervous about the school year.
Absolutely.
What, if anything, is the library doing to help support parents through this time?
Yeah, we're doing a lot of different things. You know, we work a lot with kids at the library, and right now we're trying to see how we can support all of this online learning that's going to be happening, and some of the stress families are feeling. I know for the Plaza program specifically, we work with parents who have trouble maybe getting connected or understanding how to support their kids learning in school, especially online. So we do one-on-one appointments right now with families who are, troubleshooting specific problems. We can also connect to other organizations that do. And, one specific thing we're doing with Plaza, we've had a lot of requests for help with math specifically, or math homework. And we just started an online math help program for kids.
Oh, great.
That's every Wednesday evening, and the information is on our website. And so that's one thing to do, but there's also there are a lot of resources that kids can use for homework. We have a live chat feature on our website that connects you, so if you have trouble navigating how to find a certain resource, they can ask questions there, kids or parents. And then we also do homework research appointments, so a kid can work, if they're working on a specific project, they can work with a librarian to find some more resources.
That is really, really great. I love that. Math homework.
Yes, I am not the person who's leading that, because it would seem like a challenge to me, but we have so many staff who are really passionate about helping kids and families navigate the system. We actually have some staff who work for Plaza and for DPS, and so they feel really strongly, they're really connected, and they want to help support families.
Yeah. Well, we love what you're doing. Is there anything I haven't asked you that you'd like to share about the library?
Well, I tend to talk a lot about Plaza resources, but we have other programs that I'll just quickly mention.
Absolutely, sure.
That are kind of beyond Plaza, but we work a lot with younger kids. We have some things going on right now. For example, story times. We have streaming story times every day in Spanish and English for different age groups. I think we're doing 3 a day right now, at least, of streaming story times. That's on our YouTube channel. If you just search YouTube for Denver Public Library.
Okay.
We also have a phone a story, so people can call and hear a story. read, and we have several languages: Spanish, Vietnamese, Amharic, for those stories.
Mhm.
We have different age levels, so that's 720-865-8500 if
Okay.
families want to listen to stories. And we have that now for older adults as well, so we have some adult stories,
Nice.
for people who might want to call in and listen to something and they don't have internet
It's like
access.
the Calm app. You can listen to a story.
Yes,
Going to
exactly.
sleep when you're in a
Exactly. Turn on DPL and just fall right asleep. And yeah, we also have social workers who work at the library. That's something not everybody knows. They're still working, doing outreach in the community. And so if people reach out to us with needs like how can I access, and I know you guys also are connecting people a lot to resources, but help getting benefits, help with some of the severe life challenges that a lot of people are probably going to be facing more of now,
Absolutely.
and we're here to support with that. And we also have an online high school program that's run through the library as well. So it's not exactly GED; it's a diploma program. Anyone who's over 19 and lives in the Denver area might be eligible for that. So that's a really good program to find out more about if you're interested in a high school diploma equivalency.
Learn something new every day.
Yes, and we have a lot of online programs that are just fun, going on all the time. So we have book groups, short story book groups, so you don't have to do a lot of reading. I did that because you don't have to prepare. They just give you the story and you read it and then talk about it right there, and it's a lot easier. We have like documentary discussion programs where you can watch the movie for free on Canopy. So we're doing a lot of things. There's stuff for everybody. We're even still doing some of our maker programs, like our Idea Lab is working to help people do more making at home, even though they can't use the tools right now. Like we have sewing machines, we have 3D printers, we have laser cutters, we have all kinds of different tools at the Idea Labs at some libraries that right now they're closed, but as soon as we reopen and can do those safely, we'll still allow people to use those tools and support them in making and doing and playing and learning. That's what we try to do.
Awesome. Well, I am so thankful that you could be with us today.
Yeah, me too.
Virginia, you helped me learn new things, and I love that. And as everyone knows, we do feature books on every show. I've mentioned that before because reading and learning, lifelong learning, is so important. So love having your resources available to everybody that we're talking with today. So our book review today is on The Cruelest Month by Louise Penny. I actually did this review myself. It's really an exceptional novel. It's kind of in the same style of Agatha Christie. So it's set in a small village in Canada called Three Pines, and it includes the death of one individual that occurs at a seance in an old kind of haunted house at the edge of town. And while everybody at the seance seems to say that they love the victim, as the story unfolds, you realize that there's a lot of intricacies, and almost any of those people who participated could be the murderer. So it's really great language. I love the author, Louise Penny. My mother and my son both recommended this book and this author particularly, so it appeals to just about every generation. It is available for download at the Denver Public Library, and we will post that specific link to how you can download that ebook. So that's our show for today. We will be back with a live show on Tuesday, and we hope that you will join us then. And if you have any issues, if you have a need for resources, if you have questions that you can help us with, please reach out to us at info@hopecommunities.org, or look at our website. There's lots of resources on our websites, hopecommunities.org. There's some special features for this time during COVID. So we want to be there for you. You're not alone. We're going to get through this together. So thanks again, Virginia.
Thank you.
And bye now, everybody. Hope to see you really soon.